Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Deering, and alongside me, shoving food in his face, the sleeveless PC muscle race himself, LeRon Dawkins.
What's up, everybody? How's it going?
Hi, LeRon.
Hello.
How's it going?
Pretty good. I'm freaking exhausted. My back is like on the mend because I hurt myself Sunday, and this has been a busy week, and I got to worry about moving and stuff. And I did the adult thing and didn't buy a Switch OLED on impulse. Even though it was the white system, it's the one I wanted. You
failed.
I'm being an adult though, because I gotta spend money on furniture and other adult crap, and it's kind of like how when you're out and you're hungry, so you think about stopping somewhere and getting something to eat, and then you think to yourself, I have food at home. Kind of how this thing goes with the Switch OLED. I'm like, I looked at it, they had 11 of them in stock because I actually sat there and counted them through the glass, and I was like, And I was like, my Switch is working just fine at home. Let me go home before I wreck my finances for this move.
Wow. Also joining us is the mad pharmacist herself, Stephanie Klimov. Hello.
I parked my car at Harvard Yard.
Nah, you're gonna make stories.
You like
so
that
mad.
story? Your favorite accent.
It's funny. He was going on about it on our Selects the other day. I'm just like, oh my god.
It's actually a pretty ugly accent, but I've learned to embrace it.
It's fine. I mean, to be fair, you don't really talk like that.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
I was
you don't.
really being obnoxious.
It's fine. Sometimes obnoxious is fun.
I do
Especially
say
when
wicked a lot, though. And
yeah,
I'm
but
teaching wicked.
that's a word though. That's a regional word, you know. It's like
Yeah.
It's not like you're saying like I don't know if you've ever seen the Jim Gaffigan Dunkin' Donuts Wicked Awesome skit. It's just like that. It's not like that. So,
True.
yeah.
So hello.
Hi. It's podcast night.
Woohoo! Best night of the week.
I'm trying something new here with the show notes instead of typing them out, since we're kind of like behind the scenes. I decided on my own without really talking to anybody that we're gonna have like a show running style private Discord server for ourselves, and so I'm testing that out. We're gonna see how it goes. I don't know if it's a good idea or a bad idea, but
it could be the greatest thing ever, or it could be one roaring shit show.
No, we're not going to make it a shit show. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I'm going to make it work. I spent too much time on it setting it up to make it not work.
I know. It's a whole ass Discord.
Hey, I did my best. Okay, I'm sorry. You know what? I'll just delete it. We'll start over.
Oh, now
Why
you've
would
gone hurt his feelings.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? I did not make any derogatory comments. I just said it's a whole ass Discord you made. Damn.
It is. I set it up the way I set my work Slack up, and it's very
Damn.
nice.
Do you need a chocolate bar or something? Come on, man.
Do I? Yeah, that'd be awesome. You got one? I mean,
I do, but by the time you get over here, I'm gonna eat it.
I mean, you're gonna eat it before you spit out your next sentence, probably. Yeah, we see how you eat on the pre-show. No, look, my pants told me today that I do not need another chocolate bar. Okay, So I came from a very physical job to a job where I don't do any physical activity whatsoever except with my fingers, and it's like, man, I gotta do something. I gotta figure something out because it's bad.
So basically, every pair of pants in your closet is like, bruh.
Not every pair.
Maybe your sweatpants.
I had to dust off the old standbys. It's fine.
Those are the ones that tell you need to get back on track.
Yeah. Well, I know. I am going to, because I am taking my paid time off before Christmas, and then I have a week off for Christmas and New Year's, and so I'm gonna use that as like a reset on everything. So, yeah, I'm
How much weight are you trying to reset?
I mean, here's the thing. I haven't gained any weight. My body form has just
you're one of those
changed.
You're one of those that evenly distributes the weight. Yeah, I have that problem too. Like it takes a while of me being overweight before I look overweight.
Yeah, it's just not good. So
and then Stephanie comes.
I know. God, stop. No,
chat.
Stop. No, she made me feel like a worthless piece of shit.
That's not the.
God.
It was a very painful workout. I couldn't even the muscles you would take just to pull your shirt off. I couldn't even perform that action because I pulled all my muscles. I pulled my groin. Like it's just I can't. I don't know what I was doing in class.
No.
Looking like a fool.
Yeah, I got the notification and I'm like, God, you just make me feel like I should just crawl under some rocks and go away for a while. Wither away. God.
No.
Oh man. Anyways, by the way, Stephanie's ripped. So in case you guys are wondering,
For real.
I know.
No, it's a blurry picture.
You make me feel like a pasty white grimace from McDonald's.
Well, you know what? If you took up pole dancing, you'd look like that too.
No, I just fall. I just look silly and hurt myself. It's fine. It's okay.
Well, they host private parties if you guys ever come up to Boston.
Oh God. Private parties.
Why? So can ask me? Do I have? Is this my first time doing this? or better yet, this isn't your first time doing this, is it?
Oh God.
They're a great group of people in class. Actually, I've had guys in class before.
Oh, I wonder why.
Oh no. Anyway, moving on.
Let's we're gonna get in trouble here. Where do we go from here? I guess I'll just read housekeeping. We can just jump into what we've been playing. So, this is the Boss Rush Podcast, the flagship show of the Boss Rush Network, where each and every week we get together with our friends from around the internet to talk about video games, gaming culture, and everything we love about it. You can catch us live on twitch.tv/Boss Rush Network or on YouTube and podcast services every Monday morning or on our website. Leave us a 5-star review on iTunes and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, remember you can find all of our content on bossrush.net. Quick reminder, the store is now open where you can get all of your merch, including shirts, mugs, stickers, hoodies, and more. Stephanie's repping the Boss Rush Writing Team shirt. Support our writing team, people.
Woo!
They do good work.
They do.
I see good
If you don't
things.
support us, we will starve.
No, Stephanie will just come murder you and hide you in the river or something.
Hey, don't tell them my secret.
Stephanie actually stores cinder blocks in her basement and just brings them to people. Anyways, we have new logos, new shirt styles. We have the Snacktendo logo. We have the Talk the Walk logo, and we have the Stoy catchphrase "Sick" from Arsenal X. You can go check those out. We also have all of our podcast logos, so you can buy whatever show you like. Rep it wisely. We're gonna have a couple new logos too coming for our new shows coming in the new year.
Yeah.
Very excited. Got a few recording this week, so they're not coming out yet. They're not going to be live, but they're coming. I'm very excited. After Dark, everybody, you wanted it. It's coming. LeRon's hosting it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's coming.
You know it's going to be good.
That's debatable, but
I mean, come on. Come on. I was talking about poll with Stephanie. Come on now. Come on now. Y'all are in for a treat.
He's the one that always shows the most skin on this show.
I know.
Right? I've been trying to encourage all the other boys and girls here over at Boss Rush, let's all hang out.
I wasn't wearing sleeves last night during our meeting, LeRon.
That's true. That is true.
Oh, I missed it.
It wasn't a full on tank. He had that was a cutoff, wasn't it?
No, it's just like sleeveless
It was a
shirt.
sleeveless. Okay.
Yeah, just wear under my work clothes because, well, I don't know. I feel better about myself. So.
But I mean, I can't, I can't just overtly sexually harass like the boss. Come on now.
Not with that attitude.
Wait, is this After Dark right now?
I don't know.
Like we were having a conversation in the new Discord. It was Corey, Austin, and me. And Austin said something, and I was like, "Hold on, man! It's like you need to get cleared by your wife before you start engaging in extracurricular activities in here." And he was, and Austin's dumbass is like, "If she's not here, it doesn't. I can do whatever I want."
Oh man, yeah, it's gonna get rowdy in this tiny Discord we've created. So, all right, guys. What are we playing? What are we watching? What are we doing? Stephanie, what are you playing? Watching.
So, since I got the OLED, I wanted to finish one of the games I started, and that was Firewatch. And I thought Firewatch would be a nice game to play on the OLED. It came out in 2016. It's by Campo Santo. I heard it on another podcast, and the story seemed intriguing, so I went and got it. And I am hoping that there will be a Taka Walk on that eventually. So I beat Firewatch. It's stunning to look at. It is kind of like a walking simulator where you just talk to some other person, look out through the walkie-talkie, and you choose the dialogue. It ends up turning into like almost like an Alfred Hitchcock like plot by the end. Like it's a weird mystery unravels that makes you feel wicked uneasy, and it's not what I thought. Like, so overall, the premise was good. It just, the beginning seemed completely disjointed from the end. Like, that was not what I was expecting. But the voice acting was great. The music was great. I recommend it. I'm going to be writing a game review on that. And then last night I played through Speed Dating for Ghosts. I think Celeste recommended that to me.
It sounds like something Celeste would play.
Yep. And I got through the entire game like in an hour, and it's pretty freaking hilarious. You literally go through speed dating rounds with various ghosts, and the art style's like hand drawn, like as if like a troubled teenager drew them or something. Mm-hmm. And one of them was super scary. I wasn't expecting it. This ghost named Gary, and you go on a date with Gary, and he shows you where he died, but the twist was he died because he murdered someone. And then there's like the vibration feature that I hadn't, because it was early in the game, that I wasn't expecting. So all of a sudden the image changed, and it was like this scary ghost, and the whole entire OLED just vibrated. And I actually jumped in my bed. I'm like, what the heck? That's not what I expected from this silly little game called Speed Dating for Ghosts. So that's fun there. I need to get back to Guardians. I really want to actually finish it by the end of the year. That's my goal. And then, yeah, I really need to finish Guardians. So I don't think I'm watching anything. I've just been kind of playing those games. There you go.
Nice. So Firewatch, Speed Dating with Ghosts, and what was the other one you said?
Guardians.
Guardians. All right. LeRon, what are you playing? Watching?
Because I've been getting ready to move, like I'll probably be in my, let's see, I'll probably be moved into the new place. I'll be in there before Christmas. I don't know if it'll be when we roll to the next week's show, but I will be in there before Christmas. So I've been just getting ready and prepped for the move and everything. But I did manage, because I didn't play a lot. I haven't played a lot recently, but I did manage to strike up the Nintendo Switch. Ooh. And play me because I'm so sad right now. I went to the eShop to start my pre-order for Advance Wars 1 and 2 boot camp, and they stealth delayed it. Like it had already been pushed back to February. But when I went on the that was the first delay, because it was supposed to be out this week. Yeah. Relatively. So it was pushed back to February. Initially, Nintendo made the announcement on that. So I was like, well, it's December now, so I'll jump on the eShop and I'll go ahead and drop the pre-order for it, so it's ready to go when on day one for me. and the damn eShop said it was coming out in May.
Hmm.
So there was no announcement on that. So yeah, I was upset. But since I had my Switch on, I was like, you know what? I want to get my damn Advance Wars fix in now. So so I picked up and got back into Wargroove.
Ooh, I knew you were gonna say
And
that.
God, I forgot how much I love that game. Like it's so I it's so cartoony, but it's so fun and it's so mature, and it ticks all the boxes off. If you like Advance Wars or Fire Emblem, like this is basically a mashup of the two games. There's so much going on. There's more strategy and more shenanigans in this game and stuff like that. And I love it. And here's the big one. Saturday, the boyfriend and I watched Shang-Chi.
Ooh.
Tell us.
I gotta say, this is one of my favorite Marvel movies for right now. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so Shang-Chi is actually a serious Marvel movie. It is, because I think as a matter of fact, my favorite Marvel movies are Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Captain America: Civil War, Black Panther, and of course Thor: Ragnarok. As a matter of fact, my top five are those four, including Ant-Man. Well, I'm sorry, including Infinity War. So my five favorite series movies are those. My favorite movie that's not directly tied to the MCU is Ant-Man, and I gotta say, like Shang-Chi, that's actually a serious movie. It kicks off Phase 4, so I gotta figure out where it falls in with the first five I put in. But right now, like Shang-Chi and freaking Ant-Man are like my favorite movies right now. I loved it, and like my homegirl Michelle Yeoh's in it. I was like, if I realized she was in this movie sooner, I would have been in the theaters watching this bad boy. I knew I was going to see Shang-Chi, but like I explained a while back on this very show, the time it came out, I was still a little COVID shy as far as being sardined in a movie theater with people, and I have trust issues. I have trust issues. Like people don't do what they're supposed to do.
No,
They're
lazy and they're liars.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, I'm not ready for this yet. But now I've gotten a little bit better, and I was telling him, I suggested the boyfriend last night because he's getting ready to go out of town for Christmas break. I was suggesting him last night that we try and see West Side Story before he heads out.
How was that? Or you're gonna try to see it? Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna try and see it. Hopefully I'll try. We'll see it by tomorrow. Hopefully.
Cool. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. So those are my big ones for this week. Wargroove and Shang-Chi. But Shang-Chi,
I'm really happy you saw that.
Shang-Chi was an amazing movie. I love the writing. Like the story was well put together. I mean, it was serious, and like the action, all the fight scenes are great and stuff like that.
The bus scene was cool too. Like the bus scene was awesome. Yeah,
it really was. Like it's a good movie. If I'd recommend for anybody who has not seen it yet. For whatever reasons, like if you're a Disney Plus subscriber, there's no reason that you shouldn't have seen it by now, because you can actually watch it on Disney Plus without paying the premium.
It's the first Marvel movie in a while that I'm like, I want to rewatch that soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and not just part of like the next movie's coming out, I got to rewatch all the movies. This is one that I would be like, okay, I just want to sit down and watch this again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like for real, like speaking as someone like, half Asian, and I have a black belt in the martial arts, and I'm very familiar with, various fighting styles. Like I was impressed, and I'm I would have been crushed if they did not nail the fighting.
Oh yeah.
Or choreo. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a great movie. I loved it.
How about you, Corey?
I guess it's my turn. So I've been like neck deep in Halo Infinite. I really like Halo Infinite. I think it's a great game. I have a couple tiny issues with it, especially like when it comes to the story. Like, it's like the story's good, it's fine. The gameplay's really good. I think the open world stuff in Halo really works for it, and it almost makes me wonder why they didn't do this before. Although Halo 5 was actually supposed to be this way, but they changed it, and obviously Xbox One had a great launch and fantastic, reputation moving forward after that launch. But Halo Infinite's open world is awesome. There's 8 main towers that you have to take out, but there's also like forward operating bases and major boss fights and high value targets that you can take out and gain special weapons for your own forward operating base that you can just kind of like manifest whenever you want. It's just fun to play, and I understand why it's not there, because it was probably a technological nightmare to have co-op in this, but when the co-op campaign stuff comes out in May or June, like, I want to play this with a bunch of friends and take out these outposts with friends and replay the campaign with friends, because it's just like swinging around with the grappling hook too is like, it's a game changer. That grapple shot is just it's the tiniest thing, but it changes so many things. It changes traversal. It changes how you pick up weapons. It changes how you fight enemies. It changes the way, like, you can grab these plasma containers with the grapple shot. You can grapple a plasma container towards you and throw it at an enemy, and it feels so good to do. Or like, I have this shot grappler now, where if you grapple an enemy, it automatically stuns them, and then as you're flying towards them with a well-timed melee shot, you can just take them out, and it feels so satisfying. Or another thing is when you're in a flying vehicle, when you're in the Wasp, which is like the human kind of helicopter type thing, and you get shot down. If you jump out and you find the vehicle that shot you down, you can grapple to the vehicle and kick out the pilot and take over that vehicle, which I've done a couple times, and it feels so satisfying to do that. It's just a wonderfully crafted game. My only issue so far is with the story. I haven't 100%ed the story yet, and I am not doing it on Legendary. I'm sorry, I'm just not, to get like the real ending, quote unquote. But a lot of the story from Halo 4 and 5 is just kind of left by the wayside unless you go search for the audio logs, and the rest of those stories are told through the audio logs. And this is like, I know they said that this was a sequel to Halo 5, but it's also like a spiritual reboot. And like, they're really leaning heavily on the reboot type thing, spiritual reboot type thing. And no mention of the Prometheans, which were like the big bads of the last 2 games. Cortana like is mentioned, but you barely like encounter anything that has to do with Cortana. And like I like the new characters, but they haven't been around long enough for you to like feel the impact of their story yet. Although I am I do kind of have a soft spot for the weapon, the new AI that you are carrying around. She's awesome. She has no name. Here's a question. What?
Here's a question. The Halo series is coming out on Paramount Plus. Is that like a offshoot of the main Halo storyline, or is it actually going to fill some gaps in?
Nope, it's a reimagining of the Halo universe. It's not following the games. It's not following it's like not following the canon of the games and the books and the comics and whatever else they've done.
I don't know how I feel about that now.
I know, I don't. A lot of people don't know how you feel about it, but they're also like adapting it for TV, because it's really hard to shove a 12 to 15 hour campaign into a movie or TV show, right? I mean, I think they're trying to do something different because of how many movies or TV shows from games have failed. And so I think they're just trying to change it up and see if it works. They've nailed the look. Although if this is like pre-Halo 1, Master Chief is wearing the wrong armor, but it's a side thing. We'll let it go. Still looks good. They've invented new characters for the series, new Spartans that aren't in the lore, so right there is what kind of tipped everybody off that this was like its own thing. They nailed the look of the vehicles. We haven't seen any of the enemies yet, like any of the Covenant. So I don't know. I'll watch it because it's Halo and I run an Xbox podcast, so should probably watch it. But we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of Halo, I've also been playing a lot of Destiny 2's 30th anniversary event, which is all pretty much Halo themed. Halo, Marathon, and Myth themed. We played the new dungeon, which was pretty cool. I'm trying to get the Halo 1 pistol, which is an exotic weapon in this game. 3-shot burst, 3 shots to the head, you're dead. Just doesn't matter. That's what the weapon's always been. That's what it is in this game. Nothing really else to say for people who don't really play Destiny. You won't understand, so it's so hard to explain Destiny to people who don't play Destiny, so it's like, the new 6-player activity's okay, but the dungeon is really cool. The 3-player dungeon is really, really cool. Definitely the easiest dungeon they've put out, but still really fun. On top of that, I watched the Xbox documentary, Power On. Which was...
Corey, can you tell LeRon to stop eating cookies?
I know. I'm trying to ignore him.
Making me angry.
Look, I'm trying to ignore him.
I want to eat the cookies, and he's just constantly eating them.
I know. LeRon,
Sorry.
LeRon, this is why Stephanie looks like she does, and this is why we look like we do. She can not eat the cookies, and we will eat the entire bag.
I work out 4 days a week. I could look much better if I just stopped eating the junk food, especially...
It's just like, he's rubbing it in my face. He's eating this cookie with M&Ms in it, and I'm just salivating over here just with my bottle of Star.
Okay, can I at least finish this one that I already took a bite out of?
No. Just shove it all in. You just got to shove it in now, LeRon.
Oh, God, didn't we just say something like that earlier?
It's good practice for later, LeRon.
Anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt, Corey.
Oh, it's okay. I watched the Xbox documentary that they released this week, 6-part. Each episode's like 45 minutes. It's free. It's on their YouTube channel. It's on their website. It's pretty much everywhere, I think they said. So I'm
big on documentaries. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it's very good. It was co-produced by Microsoft, so like it doesn't have the feel that it's produced by Microsoft, but there's like, it's kind of in the back of your head that, oh, well, maybe they're not telling the whole story, but they go deep on some stuff, man. They went in hard on the Don Matrick, like, deal with it thing in the $600 box and how he almost killed the Xbox. And he gave an interview in this documentary of how he wished he would have, like, in hindsight, that was the wrong decision. And it was very interesting. And like the first couple episodes kind of focus on, the first episode's called The Renegades, and it's kind of the small team in Microsoft who are secretly making a game console in Microsoft's basement and then trying to pitch it to Bill Gates.
So wait. It wasn't an original idea from the powers that be?
No.
Gutsy.
Yeah.
Gutsy.
It's really fascinating. And like the demo unit that they were presenting to the public for the first time, they were literally still soldering it together when the presentation started. And like they were hoping that it would work. And like the box that they showed didn't have the hardware in it. The hardware was actually in a giant computing station underneath the podium. It was crazy. The story of the original Xbox in particular is just fascinating.
So is it just on the original Xbox, or
it goes all the way,
document like the history of
it? It goes all the way up through. I would say the last episode kind of goes into when Phil Spencer took over and kind of what they're doing now, kind of thing. but they
Nice.
went deep on the Red Ring of Death. They went deep on the Xbox One launch. They went deep on they even mentioned the PlayStation thing. Remember when Shuhei Yoshida and Adam Boyes did here's how you trade games with your friends, and they just handed them the game because Xbox was always going to be online and you couldn't share your license with your game because the game license was tied to that box and everything. So yeah, that was it's really good. I highly recommend it. Even if you're not an Xbox fan, it's really cool to learn about the history of the box and how like awful getting that box off the ground and how like the highs of the 360 and then the lows of the Xbox One. It's really fascinating. I would watch it. Just go watch it. Everybody watch it. So
Will do. I like that type of stuff. I'm that nerdy geeky person that will watch that type of stuff.
yeah.
Once again, tell everybody where you can find it at.
Just youtube.com/Xbox. You can find it there. You can also I posted the entire documentary on our website. You can also go to bossrush.net and find the Power On article. It should be somewhere on the front page. So it's cool. Power On, the story of Xbox. Watch it. All right. Well, I guess we can get into topics now, if you want. Who wants to go first?
Because LeRon was eating cookies in front of my face, he should go first.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I mean, hey, I'll make my topic a food topic then.
The torture continues.
Nah, I will not be that person. All right, so let's see. As of the recording of this show right now, we're basically 9 days out for Christmas, and you know what? I love when Corey tells this story. So I want everybody to hear it. For everybody that's new to the Boss Rush podcast,
I forgot. Like, hold on, keep talking.
What happened?
I want people to hear like our best. Hey! I want people to hear like our best Christmas memories, or our best gifting memories and stuff like that. Because I know not everybody celebrates Christmas, but but a lot of people celebrate the spirit of this season. And there's gift giving to be done. There's things that we're appreciative of and things like that. So Corey, why don't you start this off real quickly? Because guess what? I'll be ready.
What, you want me to tell the story and then you're leaving?
No, it's not.
He's gonna go. No. He's gonna go cower in his kitchen and just eat the rest of the cookies, Stephanie. While we're
exactly. He's like, I can't eat it in front of Steph.
He's just gonna be like a little. So,
no, I have one of these too.
Now I feel left out.
I can't do this with the headphones on.
You failed, LeRon.
and I have more hair on my head than I did the last time I wore this thing.
All right. I'll get my hat, but I have to wait and listen to Corey's story first.
Okay.
I need Corey to start this off.
Oh gosh, are you talking about the one about my grandma?
Yes.
In 64 story. Okay, so when I was a wee lad, I wanted a Nintendo 64, and I didn't think I was gonna get one because they were expensive, and parents are, trying to save money and try to do everything that you want them to do and everything. So I was like, okay, probably not getting one, but I wanted a couple games. I asked for a couple games for like Sega and whatever else I had at the time. And under the tree on Christmas morning was a bunch of gifts, and one of them was Super Mario 64. Now, I didn't have a Nintendo 64, so I was like, why am I getting a Nintendo 64 game? And usually, like, my parents were pretty knowledgeable for the time, as they could be, because whatever. And so I opened the rest of my gifts and whatever. They, like, I got most of the things I wanted, I think. No Nintendo 64. So my grandma always spent Christmas with us, and she used to spend the night at our house, and then we would open her gifts in the morning, and she would help make breakfast or lunch or whatever we were eating with the family that day. And look at her, she had to go get one. She just had to. She had to be like us. But she didn't spend the night that night. So she came over that morning, and I helped her bring her bags in and whatever. And me and my cousin were opening our gifts, and I wasn't expecting my grandma to get me a Nintendo 64 because it's my grandma, right? I mean, $5 and a kiss on the cheek would probably most kids got. I don't know. So she was like, "Hey, there's one more bag in my trunk. Can you go get it? It's kind of big." And I didn't think anything of it. I thought she was having me go bring in like a crock pot or something for my mom or whatever. And I was like, "Yeah, sure." I brought it in. She's like, "This one's for you." And it was a big box in like a I don't know, Sears or Macy's bag or whatever. It was a big box wrapped whatever. She bought me a Nintendo 64 for Christmas. It's my most memorable console gift. It's my most memorable Christmas gift ever, I would say. It's just like, I was so excited. I wanted to hook it up. And of course my mom told me I couldn't hook it up because the family was coming over. And I was like, but Mario 64, you know,
It's right here.
The future of games is here. No more Sonic the Hedgehog spinning around, okay? This is the future. Okay, and I was like, I need a subscription to Nintendo Power. I need, you know, I need the red controller because this is Mario. I need the blue controller because I like blue. I need all these controllers. I need everything. Just give it to me. So, and then the next day, they were like, okay, we can go buy you one more game. And it was between Pilot Wings and Wayne Gretzky's 3D Hockey. And, well, you know, I didn't buy Pilot Wings, which was a bad decision. Wayne Gretzky's 3D Hockey is not a great game. It's okay, but it does kind of look like Rock'em Sock'em Robots sometimes. But yeah, that's my favorite Christmas story. It's one I hold dear. I still have that Nintendo 64 downstairs.
I wonder what it is about the N64 that I feel like I hear a lot of people associate with Christmas time, because that actually holds my most memorable Christmas gift thing, because it was one of the best, and also, when I say one of the worst, I mean worst because I was a kid, and I'll explain in a second. So my parents were anti-video game. I mean, heck, they were like anti-TV. I was only allowed to watch one 30-minute television show, and that was it. Like, I got no screen time. You know, my mom thought that people made video games just so we could be, like, I don't know. They'd turn your brain to mush, that stuff, all right?
Yeah.
But my cousin, who lived with us for a while, he had an N64 and all the video games, and I'd watch him with big bug eyes. They'd play Ocarina of Time, and I was like, I want N64. I want Nintendo 64. And I'm like, Mom, please, 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 just one console. Like, just one. And I'll never have another console for the rest of my life, which clearly is not true now. And so Christmas morning, I went downstairs, and there was a Nintendo 64 under the tree, but it wasn't wrapped. And I had made the request to Santa. So that's also the year I realized Santa didn't exist. So that's why I was great and horrible at the same time. Mom's like, oh yeah, you want an N64? Here.
Oh, no.
So the good thing is I got my N64. The bad news is my mom's like, well, guess what? Santa isn't real.
Damn, that's that hard love right there.
Yep, exactly it. And I had my one game. So this is how gaming's so different then and now, and depending on the person. Like, I just had Wave Race 64, and I had to just play the heck out of it for at least probably 6 months before I was able to get one more game.
Yeah. Gosh, everybody talks about, I always feel like everybody talks about how they had like every popular game ever. I'm like, dude, I had Super Mario Brothers and Ninja Turtles for like a year and a half before I got another game, okay? And most of them came from my cousin, so they were hand-me-downs. They weren't even like real games, right? Like, the game after I got Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game, was Tom Sawyer's Adventures, okay? which is a really terrible, and now that I think about it, slightly racist ripoff of Bayou Billy, which was also not a great game. Like, you floated down a raft, you floated down a river on a raft, and tried to avoid the rocks, and the character in Tom Sawyer, I'm not trying to be racist, this was his name, Injun Joe, would run along the side of the river and shoot at you.
Say no more.
Okay.
Say no more.
So I apologize if that offended anybody. That's the character's name. I was not trying to be racist.
And Corey was using the quote marks. He was not really saying it.
Yeah. So that was, I had that game for a long time. And then while we're on Christmas, it wasn't really a Christmas gift, it was more of a birthday gift, but my grandma also bought me a Game Boy. That was my first console I ever owned, or first video game thing I ever owned was Game Boy. She bought me that with Tetris and boxing. It was just called boxing. I still don't understand how to play that game. But yeah, like my grandma really came through with games.
Aww.
So
there you go.
Yeah.
All right, LeRon, tell us
right,
something
so-
that's very Christmassy.
Oh
or
well,
holiday.
all right. So I'm one of those people like if I'm kind of bah humbuggy around this time of year. I really am, because I mean, like, I worked in retail long enough that like it just sucked the soul out of me. But before I became this bah humbug like type person, right? Christmas still like had like that magic for me back before I got to be this guy that I am. And when I graduated from high school, like like a week later, I was at boot camp. I was in the military, and stuff like that. So actually my first Christmas was wound up being my first Christmas away from family ever and stuff like that. So on like I got a chance to talk to my mom and some family and stuff like that. And I was telling them, I was like, hey, like the like there's this new video game system that came out called the PlayStation, and I'm not going to be around to get it when it comes out and everything like that. And my mom swore up and down. She was like, well, I'm not getting that for you. I'm not getting that for you. Like, you're a grown man now. Like, you can spend your own money for something like that, now because like, she gotten weary of buying video game systems for me. So I was like, okay, well, I mean, it is what it is. Like, I'll just wait till we're back in the States. I think at the time we were going to be back in like February or March. And PlayStations are notorious for coming out in like October and November. Well, we know that now. Like, but I think the PS1 originally came out sometime in November, so it was more closer to Thanksgiving than it was to Christmas when it came out. But like I said, I was out of the country at that time. So like, things had gone by. I more times I talked to my mom back at home and stuff like that. I was still kind of hinting at it, but she just was not budging. She was like, no. She was like, well, how about you do this? Like, you're not spending money now because you're out on deployment and stuff like that. You're gonna have plenty of money when you get back to buy it whenever you want. And I was like, okay, sure, whatever. I'll just get it when I get back, whatever. So I want to say it was a week or two into December, like, we have a mail call and everything, right? And where I was stationed at, like there was two. You found out if you had mail coming, not by when they called your name. You wouldn't look on a list, and this list was actually pretty cool because this list was designed like it broke up the line. Basically, there was a line for people who just had letters or envelopes, and there was a line for people who had actual packages and stuff like that. And I was on the care package side, right? So I was like, okay, like more than likely, like, I'm getting some random stuff, just to say we miss you and stuff like that. So like they bring out this box, and I'm like, this is a big ass box, like it, but it was so inconspicuous, right? Because like it didn't look like, because if anyone remembers the PS1 console, it came in like a rectangular box that was on the slim side. So I was like, okay, so I don't know what's in here. I'm sitting thinking, like it might be just a regular, like, care package, like treats and things like that. So, I get it back. I actually went back to my, for some strange reason, I went back to my actual workspace and not like where we not where we sleep at and stuff like that. And I actually opened the box, and I looked inside the box, and one of my coworkers was walking past me, and he looked over my shoulder. He's like, "Holy shit!" And it was a freaking PlayStation, right? It was the PS1,
Wow.
the first gen PlayStation 1 in there, right? And I was floored. But here's the thing about it: like, I did not tell my mom, what type of games I was interested in. So she actually picked up 3 games. I'm pretty sure she had help because Ballerina Toshinden was in there, which was like one of the best like first gen fighting games for the PlayStation. There was another game, Philosoma, which was basically like a shooter. Just think Gradius, except it was more 3D ish, if that makes any sense. And I can't remember what the third game was, but here I am with a PlayStation, 3 games that like I didn't ask for, and I was just like, shit, like what do I do? I could not get on a phone and call my mom, like we were on deployment, so I had to wait until like we got that. So like I pull everything out the box, and down the bottom of the box there's a handwritten letter, and so I pull the letter out and I read it, and it literally says, "This is the last time I'm buying anything like this for you for Christmas. From now on, you're buying me stuff like this for Christmas."
Aw.
Yeah. So, but there is a bad part to this story though.
Oh,
My
boy.
mom bought me a PlayStation. She bought me some games. No memory card.
The memory cards.
Oh.
Gamers today will never know.
No memory
Oh,
card.
no. Oh, no.
Isn't that the worst? I remember because I never had a PlayStation, and my first console that required memory cards was a GameCube. And, well, no, I lied. It was the Dreamcast. And like when I found out I couldn't save my game, I was like, why can't I save my game? Because like I never owned a console that required a memory card, so like I wasn't
everything was cartridge based.
The only magazine I had subscribed to up to that point was Nintendo Power, because I only had Nintendo consoles and Sega consoles, and Sega didn't like. Okay, I had the occasional like EGM, but like I stopped subscribing to EGM because I got a Nintendo 64 instead of a Saturn. So like, why would I continue subscribing to a Sega magazine when I was playing Nintendo 64? And so like I got a Dreamcast when they went on sale for, it was like they sold this bundle. It was what was it? It was Sonic Adventure and NBA 2K1 and the demo to Sonic 2 and the Dreamcast, and it was $99 because it was like right after they announced they were discontinuing the Dreamcast. And I was like, well, this is a great time to buy the Dreamcast because all the games are going to be like $15. And I bought Crazy Taxi. I got all kinds of just
Crazy Taxi.
Dude, I got what, Shenmue 1. I got all kinds of, I got the whatever the Sonic equivalent of Mario Party was. I think it was called Sonic Shuffle, and it was terrible.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. Blue Stinger I got for like $3. I got so many games. I had Resident Evil 2 and 3 for Dreamcast, and then I traded them in, which was really stupid because now they're worth like a ton of money. That was really stupid. But yeah, I bought that all for like $150. I got like 10 games in a Dreamcast for $150. And then I got home and realized I needed a memory card, and they were still like $25 or $30.
Oh yeah, awesome. those VMUs were a little pricey.
Yeah. Well, it seemed like pricey at the time, but now you go to pay for a hard drive, and it's like, the SSDs are like $200 for a terabyte. For real, like
I swear, we are spoiled now because like things like these systems come with internal storage now and everything. Now, true, like it's always not the biggest internal storage.
I mean, that's what turned me onto the Xbox. I was like, I don't need a memory card.
Exactly.
It's already in there. By the way, did you know the internal memory or the internal hard drive for the original Xbox was 8 gigs?
Yeah.
In 2001.
Yo, dude, people used to buy the Xboxes and cannibalize them for the hard drives.
Yeah. Oh, good times.
Because what was the original price of the Xbox? Was it a $400 machine?
No, it was
It was 300.
No, it was two. Let's see. Hold on. No, it was 300 because the PlayStation was 300, and the
PS2 was 300.
GameCube was 200. And
Yeah.
I remember everybody, like, at first everybody wanted the GameCube because it was $100 cheaper, and then nobody wanted the GameCube after that for some reason.
Yeah.
Womp womp.
Yeah, but honestly, that was the cheapest way to get an 8 GB hard drive back
Yeah.
then. Like, buy an Xbox, cannibalize it, because you can put another. Because all you gotta do is just sideload the OS on there, and then you can just put any size hard drive in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was. I really was upset when I found out memory cards existed. And then, like, it always sucked because, like, for GameCube, I bought sports games for the GameCube, and, like, an entire memory card would be used for a sports game, so I would have to buy, like, 3 more, and it was like, what are you doing? Stupid.
Like, why does the sports games always took so much data? It didn't matter, like, what like console they're on. Like, they ate up a memory card.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just stupid. So, I don't know. By the way, side tangent. If anybody out there listening wants to get rid of any old Xbox equipment, please tell me. Because I will take it off your hands.
What are you doing?
Just, making a little Xbox scene to be a better Xbox host and look like I actually play Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
I want to, put all these Xboxes up here with my OLED Switch that LeRon didn't buy. Yeah. Maybe Santa will bring you one for Christmas, LeRon.
Maybe.
By the way, never mind. I'll tell you guys later.
Okay.
Anyways, that was a good topic.
Yeah.
Festive topic.
Yeah, just in time for Christmas. As a matter of fact, when this goes live, we will be like 5 days out from Christmas.
Yeah, 4 or 5. Yeah.
Yeah. Christmas on Saturday. So yeah.
Yeah. Good topic, LeRon. Stephanie, you're up. It's your topic.
Well, I was gonna say this time of year. Well, I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of big game releases this month so far. So I know a lot of people have said they've hit their backlog.
Hey, Five Nights at Freddy's just dropped.
Okay, yeah.
That's not a big release. Get out of here.
Oh, come on. The hype train that happened for that at E3 when they announced that? Come on, guys.
What, all the, 7-year-olds who were watching E3? Yeah, sure. You sound like my nephew. All he wants to do is play Fortnite, Minecraft, and Five Nights at Freddy's. That's all anybody cares about under the age of 10.
Well, I tried. I tried. Maybe someone from the development team or the publisher for Five Nights at Freddy, maybe they heard just enough hype and emphasis before you squashed on it that we might get a promo copy to try out.
Yeah, let's get a promo copy of Five Nights at Freddy's 6.
I'm talking about.
Why don't we just promote the entire series?
Security breach. I'm talking about the new one.
Why don't we just promote the entire series and remind everybody that's on Xbox Game Pass? Play it now. Earn your perks. Claim your rewards. I don't know.
Speaking of Game Pass, didn't some new stuff just drop?
Yeah. Alien Fireteam Elite. It's downloading right now, so I can play.
Yes.
I don't know anything about aliens, but I can shoot stuff, so
it's fun.
Yeah, you don't know anything about aliens because you don't watch popular movies.
I know. I don't watch anything. I got it. We went over that last week. Got it. 2 weeks ago. I don't know.
By the way, watching Chris watched that clip and his heart hurt.
Sorry, Chris. I don't watch things.
Well, I am downloading Fireteam Elite right now.
I'm glad we.
Yay!
I'm glad
Lasby's gonna be so excited.
He's been wanting to play. He's been wanting to play Aliens Fireteam Elite with me for the longest time.
I know. I get a message from him once every couple weeks. Hey, Aliens Fireteam Elite's coming to Game Pass. I'm like, I know. I will download it when it comes out. And then Stephanie poked, hey, are you going to play Fireteam with me and Lasby? I'm like, yeah, when it comes to Game Pass.
Yeah. It's kind of, yeah, it's infectious. I'm now a believer. It's fun. Anyway, well, the point I was getting at might not really be related is most underrated games, because I figured there are many of them out there, and while I'm trying to kill my backlog, why not add more to my backlog? And if I'm going to add more games to it, I want to add underrated games. So,
I'm going to have to turn on my Switch for this, because I have a bunch on here that you might be interested in.
No worries. I was going to say, like, if you guys need time to think about it, I actually posed that question at Nintendo's Over 30s Club. Oh, I put wrong. Okay. Here's some examples of some people who of underrated games. Fuga Melodies of Steel, Night in the Woods, Dragon's Dogma, Goemon, Mystical Ninja, and Mace.
Oh,
the
Goemon,
Dark
Mystical
Age.
Ninja.
Yeah, Goemon I hear people really like on the N64.
Yeah.
Halo Wars?
Yes, Halo Wars is awesome.
Really?
Nobody plays Halo Wars.
No. I meant underrated. I meant really
dude,
underrated.
That's why they shut down Ensemble. That's why Microsoft shut down Ensemble, because it didn't even hit 500,000 units.
Damn, I did not know that.
Yeah, and then Sega and Creative Assembly ended up doing Halo Wars 2, which is even better, and it sold less because it was on Xbox One.
Wow.
By the way, Halo Wars 1 and 2 are on Game Pass. If you like RTS at all, please play those games. They're simple, but the campaigns are awesome. Blur did all of the cutscenes, and it looks like you're watching a freaking movie. It's awesome.
Nice.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, sorry. This is a long list here. Like, I don't know how I could like just say it all. I mean, I don't know if I agree with Superman 64, but
No, that game's garbage.
yeah.
Yeah.
The Last Remnant, Tales of Symphonia.
Ooh.
Okay, The Last Remnant, yes.
Last
Tales of
Remnant,
Symphonia, yes.
Yes.
General Chaos, Shadowrun. Let's see what else.
Shadowrun, yes.
Super.
Isn't that game making a comeback? Shadowrun's making a comeback.
Is it? That'd be great.
There was a Kickstarter for Shadowrun at some point.
Yeah, well, I know Shadowrun Chronicles is coming out, and that's basically like the 3 games.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I just know there was a Kickstarter for that at some point.
I will say, one, I would say more on the recent end of things, and go figure, it's a Zelda example, because I'm a Zelda. Well, I just feel like of all Zelda titles, people think of the main ones like Ocarina of Time, Breath of the Wild, or whatever. But I feel that Link Between Worlds is severely underrated as a Zelda title.
Yes, hell yes. Thank you.
And they need to bring that to the Switch.
Yes, I agree with that. There was a rumor that was the next game coming. It was
please.
there was a rumor, because like what they want to do after Breath of the Wild 2, by the way. It's I remember a thing where they said they want to do every other Zelda game is going to be a remaster, a remake, and then a new title.
Mm-hmm.
So Breath of the Wild was the new game. Hyrule Warriors was the remaster. Link's Awakening was the remake. And then they kind of fell off that when Breath of the Wild 2 got delayed because, you know. But I remember them saying they want to flip-flop and kind of have a Zelda experience every year.
I think that's a great idea, and I hope that's the case. And I doubly hope that it's Link Between Worlds, because I just think... I don't know. I don't know why I don't hear about it enough from other people, but it's one of my top favorite Zelda games. I think the mechanic is interesting, and especially now that we're getting into a new generation of gamers that might never end up playing A Link to the Past, which was the spiritual successor of. Like, I think Link Between Worlds is at least like quote unquote modernized enough for the modern player to appreciate those mechanics and stuff like that. So that's my personal pick. I read off a couple examples. Anyone want to provide their personal underrated game that's a must-play?
Yes,
Ooh.
I do. I have a bunch. Well, not a bunch, but I have enough that people will appreciate. Let's see. I think Ukulele and the Impossible Lair. I know Ukulele was the first one was kind of pitched as like the team left Rare to create their own studio, and they wanted to make a game in the vein of Banjo-Kazooie and Conker's Bad for a Day, and they did with Ukulele. It was good. Wasn't great, but it was good. It was definitely one of those collectathon platformer games. But Ukulele and the Impossible Lair is the side-scrolling sequel to that game, and it's awesome. They snatched a bunch of people from Retro who worked on Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, and it's basically Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, but
What?
way better.
What system is this on?
It's on everything. You can buy it on Switch.
Oh.
It's usually it's on sale all the time.
All right, I gotta like favorite it. What's it called again?
Ukulele and the Impossible Lair.
Okay.
It's so good. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Wait, is that the one with the chameleon?
Yep.
Okay, now I know what you're talking about.
Let's see here. Other games. They're towards the top here. I'm getting there. Oddworld Stranger's Wrath. I think it's extremely underrated. I don't think it gets talked about enough.
Yeah.
Set in the Oddworld universe, obviously, and like you play a bounty hunter, and you just kind of go, and it's kind of like a mission-based shooter, but it also has a scoring system. If you capture your bounties alive, you get double the points, and you get the better ending if you capture them all alive. It's really good. I really love that game. Lightfall is a 2D fast-paced side-scroller. It's really cool. It's like it's if like a Sonic game was a real platformer. It's super fast-paced, but also really methodical and really. It's like almost like Sonic and Mario had a baby, but they did it correctly. It's really cool, and a game similar to Lightfall called The King's Bird. I would recommend that as well. It's an indie game. It's on sale all the time too. I actually think it's on sale right now.
I hadn't heard of that one.
Yeah, it was free on Xbox like a month or two ago. It's really cool and really good. If you like JRPGs, Cosmic Star Heroine is pretty good. It definitely feels like a Super Nintendo game straight up. Definitely just really cool game.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. If you like Final Fantasy Tactics, if you are a Final Fantasy Tactics fan, and you want something that scratches that itch, but you also want something with a really unique art style that kind of reminiscent of like Psychonauts meets Tim Burton-esque, Fell Seal, The Arbiter's Mark. Even if you don't like the art style, the game is straight up a love letter to Final Fantasy Tactics. It is so good. And like there's over 100 characters you could add to your party. They all have unique abilities. You can level them up separately, or like you can build separate parties to go into battle with and kind of go in separate. It's so good. Highly recommended. I think that's probably going to be it for now for me. I want to give LeRon a chance to come up with some underrated games. Don't say Monster Hunter Rise, LeRon.
I think that game's overhyped, to be honest with you.
Well,
Ooh.
I really do.
You made me buy the game, and now you're saying it's overrated. You made me. You're like, you better buy this game, bitch.
I did not say it like that.
I said, yes, LeRon, I'll buy it. Don't hurt me.
I think it was more along the lines of you will buy this game.
Okay.
I've got a few. These are the only ones I can think of in recent memory because God, like I've been playing video games for like forever. So Corey, have you heard of a game called Enslaved: Odyssey to the West?
Yeah, it was Ninja Theory's second game. Also, that game is amazing. I wish it was backwards compatible.
Yeah,
and it's
okay. Not. That was a good game, but it didn't get a lot. It didn't get a lot of traction. It was a good game. I enjoyed it. In the PS.
Oh,
Huh?
I was gonna play off of Odyssey to the West. If you have a PlayStation 3, the game that they did after that is also super underrated. Heavenly Sword,
Heavenly Sword. Yes.
also super underrated.
Yep. Yeah. Let me see. There's Legend of Legaia.
Mm.
Yeah, like that was actually a really fun game, and they had a lot of different stuff going on. Like it was quintessential JRPG, but it had mashups and stuff because it had like a rhythm game, like a rhythm game like mini game in there. It had there was like a romance there was like a romance mini game. Like it had all sorts of stuff going on. It was like this big as RPG too. Like it. Uh, yeah, like yeah, like fun on PS1, and then one that like I feel like I know Ed would agree with me if he was anywhere close by, but Sleeping Dogs.
Mm. Yeah, I hear that's a good one.
Yeah, Sleeping Dogs. Like man, I enjoyed that game, and the sad part is like I got that game off of, like the Humble Bundle for like $5, and man, like I was freaking impressed. Like it was there were so many elements of that game. Like the story was tight. Like it was compelling. Like you played the main character you played with. Like you wanted to see what was going on with him, but you also wanted to see what was going on with some of the side characters. You know, the support characters that were in the game and stuff like that. Like yeah, like those are the three that I can think of. Those are three that come to mind actually without me actually having to look up a list.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like
Oh, I
yeah.
have for Xbox fans, I have an extremely underrated game, and I know we've brought it up on the show before. Mistwalker's Lost Odyssey,
Oh yeah.
the basically the Final Fantasy 11 we never got. It's incredible.
Mhm.
You play as the immortal warrior Kaim, and spoilers, he has amnesia because it's a JRPG. But you kind of like play through him finding his memories and building relationships with other mortals and stuff, and it's so good. Oh my gosh, it's so good. And on Xbox Series X, they did all the enhancements and stuff to it. It looks like a brand new game, dude. It's so good. God, it looks
Oh,
good.
I have a more recent game that I definitely heard was underrated, even though I enjoyed it. Samus Returns Metroid 2 on the 3DS.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
Because I
like
think
like a lot
everybody
of
was done with their 3DS at that point.
yeah. Well, that was one thing, but a lot of people like they didn't they liked a lot of stuff about the updates, but they also didn't like a few things, like like Samus now had like like a melee attack and stuff like that, and it was basically like a parry system slash counter attack,
Hmm.
and people weren't feeling that, but all of a sudden they love it to death in Metroid Dread.
Yeah,
Mm.
man.
I've heard of this game. I think Grayson might have mentioned it, but actually, you know what? I think there was also a Talk the Walk on it, so maybe that was, I don't know. But Tell Me Why for
Yeah,
PC.
Yes, yeah.
yeah. It's on
Like
Game
I heard
Pass.
it's like okay. Oh, really? Okay, I'm downloading it.
Yeah, it's at
Just turn the
Microsoft
TV on.
actually. Microsoft actually published that game. They picked it up because, like, I don't know the weird because slight spoilers for Tell Me Why. I guess like you play as a transgender character, and Don't Nod has a publishing deal for Life is Strange, right? And they actually pitched this as the next Life is Strange game, but Japanese culture is really weird about gay and
Hmm.
transgender still, right? So like Microsoft picked it up and they made it its own thing. So
Which is interesting because they're into a ton of other super freaky shit, but whatever.
yeah, well, banging underage girls is no problem, but people being
Right.
gay and you know
But yeah, see, it's something like that where the game is, everyone who's played it has the best things to say about it. But if I haven't talked to other gamers in this community, I would have known nothing about it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
for real.
it's a really good walking sim is not the correct term, but I don't know if you played Life is Strange. It's basically Life is Strange, but you know, it's a good one. Good one. Look at all these games, guys. Man, so
Yeah,
many good
see,
games.
so there's some treasures out there in the vast world of I don't know. I don't know if there was that many games back in the day, but I just felt like, especially with the for example, the eShop, I'm swarmed with all these like $3.99 games, or even just garbage $60 games. No offense to the devs who made those garbage games, but I'm just saying, like, there's so much out there now that's almost like how people get alert fatigue when they get too many emails or too many texts?
Yeah.
Like, I now rely on seeing the blockbuster titles, but I also feel like I'm going to miss out on a lot of great games because of that.
Oh, speaking of blockbuster titles that people thought were trash games because they launched on Xbox One at a time where nobody owned one. Sunset Overdrive and Quantum Break. Those games severely underplayed. I think people have come around on Sunset Overdrive finally, but severely underplayed gems. If you like Control, you should play Quantum Break.
Well, look, I love Quantum Break. Like, Quantum Break almost made me buy an Xbox One.
Yeah, but then it came to PC.
Exactly, they fucked up. Exactly.
I mean, they didn't, though. That was just the first step of their plan to play anywhere, and they just didn't know how to market it yet.
Like Quantum Break, when I saw them unveil that at one of the shows, was it E3 that they unveiled it at, or was it another show?
No, it was the Xbox One reveal event when they showed. Yeah. Well,
when they showed that,
maybe it was E3. I think you're right. I think it was the E3 before the Xbox came out, because the big thing at the Xbox One reveal event is they didn't show any games, and people were pissed. And so they came out, and their messaging was, hey, E3 is going to be all about the games. We're not going to talk about anything else. We're just talking about the games.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah, and then they showed off Quantum Break. They showed off Rise. They showed off Dead Rising 3. And they showed off a couple other things. Oh, they did that really cool Master Chief Poncho Halo trailer that never came to fruition, too. So...
Yeah, I remember though seeing that trailer and seeing them show that off, and then it's what pissed me off is the shit they showed off didn't even make it to the game.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but that's every game now. So that was also at a time when, like, remember when they showed Watch Dogs for the first time, and
oh god,
couldn't announce it was for Xbox One and PS4 because those consoles hadn't been announced yet, and they were like, oh yeah, this is what the game looks like, but not on these consoles. Oh, also, when this game is $15 at Christmas time, we're going to release it on the Wii U for $60, and some sucker is going to buy it for $60 and play it and review it because he was doing a Nintendo podcast at the time and nothing else.
This sounds a little too on the nose.
That person may or may not have been me, by the way. Maybe that's why I didn't really care for Watch Dogs 1. Like at all.
This sounds like a story for another episode of Boss Rush podcast.
Oh no, I've told you. It's probably on like 15 episodes of Pow Block. Man, gosh, man, good times.
Yeah,
good times.
Good topic.
Great topic. Underrated games. Gosh, guys. So I just wanna point out that sometimes, like, on a topic-based show, sometimes you get some stinkers, right? Sometimes you just, like, somebody picks a topic, nobody wants to talk about it, like, after, 3 seconds. But then you have to extend it because it's already out there. Mm-hmm. We haven't had any stinker topics, so proud of this. I
was getting nervous. I'm like, what's he alluding to? Pick a real
sometimes I just want to talk about how great the show is since we rebooted it and kind of structured it and everything. And, you know, I'm proud of this show. I'm really proud of what we're doing with this show and everything else. And now the stuff that's going along with it, I'm really excited and really amped now for everything. Not that I wasn't, but, like, I was excited, but in, like, a nervous sort of way because I didn't have anything done. And, like, we weren't really... Like, we were like, yeah, we'll plan it, and then we didn't. But now that everything's planned and ready to go and everything's launching in January, it's like 3 weeks away. I'm just like...
It's crazy.
Like, it's like Christmas 1996 all over again. I'm ready to open this box and But yeah, I'm just proud of you guys. Really proud. Like a proud
heartfelt moment.
Yeah. Let's see. What are we doing here?
How about? Do you have a topic, or
I do.
we...
I posted one in the Discord that I thought would be a good topic, but I don't know if we want to save it now, since we do have spoilers. We have another show to record after this. We could probably do that, right? I guess we could do this topic. Topic ideas. That's the wrong show. After Dark. Oh God. Topic ideas. There it is. I found it, guys. Don't worry. So I brought up the Xbox documentary earlier this episode, and I started thinking, like, Xbox has been really good about trying to, at least state that they want to preserve games and, backwards compatibility initiative. And Phil Spencer's been out there saying that he even supports emulation on older games, and that games should be treasured and packed away nicely for future generations to learn from the history and stuff. And like, this Xbox documentary really dove into a lot of that, actually, in the early episodes. And like, Sony did the God of War documentary, which was really good. And Guerrilla's doing the Horizon cast now on the making of the first game leading up to the second game. And like, I want more of that stuff from the creators. And like, I just think it's really fascinating when the creators talk about their own stuff in a very real way, right? Like, I think that's why, in terms of the Xbox side of things, a lot of people relate to Phil Spencer, because like, he kind of talks with a real style attitude instead of like a marketing, I want to sell you this box and I want to sell you these games, right? Like, he's very open and very real about what the messages he's delivering. And like, the Sony documentary was actually really surprising in that way also. And like, I want more. And the topic is like, do you guys want more of that style of content? Whether it's a podcast or a documentary, or like, Double Fine, the makers of Psychonauts, have a really great documentary on their YouTube channel too, as well, about the history of
Hell yes.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And like, who would you want to see have one of these documentaries?
Let's see. Let me think real quickly here.
You're sure thinking a lot. I don't want you to hurt yourself, LeRon.
Well, no, I don't. Well, no, I'm thinking a lot because I don't want to go on these big, expansive like franchises. Like, I don't want them doing Final Fantasy. If they are going to do Final Fantasy, they need to pick like one specific game, to do their documentary or retrospect or whatever. But shoot. Honestly, I would like to see the approach that Mercury. Given that I mentioned it earlier as an underrated game, I would like to see the approach that Mercury Steam took for Metroid: Samus Returns. What they did to revitalize that. I'm really curious. Like, did they actually not steal? Like, steal is a very negative word. Did they borrow some elements from AM2R? I think that was. AMR, or was
AM2R, another
AM2R,
Metroid 2 remake. Yes.
Yeah. Did they actually like, think what they want to do? Like, because like, if you look at the original Game Boy game and you look at that 3DS game, they don't look anything similar. The only thing similar is the soundtrack, which is remixed. That's the only thing similar about those two games, like, yeah, stuff like that. I would definitely love to, like, or given that I'm talking about Nintendo topics, I would look, like, I've heard so much about how like Miyamoto came up with the idea for The Legend of Zelda and stuff like that. I want to see him storyboard that. I want to see him do that, because one thing I've said about the old school like NES games, for example, is like those games came from a time in gaming history where like the games were so bare bones that you had to use your imagination to fill in gaps in the story and stuff like that. Like Metroid is like prime example of that, stuff like that. Even The Legend of Zelda, like like one of the things I remember. Okay, like, so you remember we get the flute and you have to play it, and those And those chords, I swear I made lyrics to those chords.
Of course you did.
Aw.
Yeah, stuff like that. So like if I was using my imagination, as I was playing this game, like I would love to see like the imagination and thought process that went into like building these games back then in those times. Like eventually, like on the NES, we got so. Like, you think how powerful like Super Mario 3 was? Like, that was a powerful game. I mean, I feel like that was like Nintendo at its like apex with that console by that point.
Mm-hmm.
Just like it's like if you look at some of the successes that Sega had with the Genesis and stuff like that. Like when I started coming out with those heavy cartridges that you were using like a 16 megabit like architecture and stuff like that, like Beyond Oasis. Like stuff like
Dude,
that.
Beyond Oasis, like if you're a Zelda fan, you should check out Beyond Oasis.
Beyond Oasis was another underrated game.
Beyond. Oh, I gotta write all this down.
Well, I think it just came out at a time where Zelda was dominant, and like the only thing Sega really had to market was like Sonic and Streets of Rage. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, like I feel like if you were a Nintendo gamer and you owned a Sega, you knew about Streets of Rage, but or Beyond Oasis, but if you just only owned a Sega, you played games like Streets of Rage and stuff because Nintendo didn't have stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond Oasis, though. God, what a... Talk about it.
LeRon, since you mentioned Miyamoto and Zelda, I mean, this is probably common knowledge at this point, but a lot of what inspired him to create Zelda was just through exploring caves and forests and stuff when he was growing up. I think he grew up around Kyoto, and like when I was a kid, not that I am likening myself to Miyamoto at all, but I used to like make up video games of my own in my head just by stumbling around in the woods in my backyard and just if that was in a well, first of all, documentaries are just super hot and within like the last year or two. I think it would just be very inspiring, even if someone wasn't into video games and maybe they're a bit more a fan of mainstream stuff. They'll see that and get inspired, and I don't know. I just think that'd be such a feel-good documentary.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would like to see a documentary on some of the indie. This publisher and dev is kind of big now, but Annapurna.
Yeah.
Unless Annapurna's. And Devolver Digital. They're my personal favorite developer / publisher, and I'd love to see them behind the scenes. Maybe a non-specific would just be any video game documentary that speaks to like music production. Like talk to those people. I don't think they really get enough credit, and I feel like certain games, like the music just puts you in that certain mood, and I would just love to learn more about it.
Yeah, Miyamoto seems to design games like that because Pikmin was the same way, where like he was inspired by the flowers he was planting in his garden, and like he was like tossing the weeds, and he was like, "What if we designed a game around this?" And that's how Pikmin was born. That and like
what a nerd.
Well, it was like that. It was that mixed with the 128 Mario's demo that they showed off on GameCube.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like that demo, that 128 Mario's demo ended up becoming GameCube because they were playing with technology and how to get more than one character on the screen at one time. And that's what they came up with. So,
hey, I wish I could be that creative. Just be legit weeding, doing some sort of common household task, and then bam,
and
video game idea.
And design a whole video game off of it.
Yep, man, what a guy. That guy, we owed a lot to that man.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of like documentaries, revolving around, it's more of like the studio that created Star Fox, and now he makes the Pixel Junk games. Q Games is what the studio's called, but he's one of the original programmers on Star Fox and actually got it running on the original Game Boy. It's really a fascinating story. But like they were like the first Westerners to work inside Nintendo, and they stuck them in a closet, but it was Miyamoto's smoking closet. So like every every hour and a half, they would hear him come in the room.
Seriously?
Yeah, they come in the room
awesome.
and just like start smoking behind them while they were working. I have like a weird knowledge of useless things that happen in video games. Oh. Anyways, good talk, good times. So yeah, I mean, I would like to see more of this stuff. I think, I don't know, it's weird seeing, because video games are so secretive all the time. And it's one of the last industries to really be that secretive. And it's really nice to see once in a while when a company opens up. You know, I mean, like the God of War one even was super interesting because they were all, like, you could see the anger in some of their, like, in some of that. And, like, the crunch and how it was wearing on them and how they had to get this game perfect or the studio was going to close down, right? Like, that was, I mean, they don't specifically say that in the documentary, but that was because God of War Ascension didn't do well. That space game they were doing got canceled, and they basically had to, like, God of War was like a do or die moment for them, and to get it perfect and as good as it was. Now, I mean, I think I'm on the edge of, like, I don't think God of War is like a great game. I think it's a very good game. I think it's a very well produced game, and the story is good, but, like, I don't think it's like the greatest game on PlayStation at this by any means, but I'm glad that studio exists, and they did such a great job rebooting a franchise that was utterly dead, you know?
Yeah.
So I want to see more of this stuff for sure.
That's a good point. I you know, we see documentaries behind the scenes in the film industry. I don't know, scandalous things, a lot of documentaries on true crime. Like, when I'm just trying to think of the most popular documentaries, I'm like, I don't think yeah. It's time for, you know, the people behind the gaming industry to kind of get their time in the spotlight and just be very interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, like, the stories that you hear usually come out of interviews or something from not all the time, but like a disgruntled employee that's like, I left because, you know, this crap was bad and I wanted to make my own studio. And it's nice to see, like, somebody actually take the time to find all sides of the story and, like, produce something that's watchable and not some grumpy old person that, you know.
Yeah. Oh, here's an example. What was that, like, one-man show that that made Stardew Valley? Is that Chucklefish?
Well, they're the publisher. The guy that developed it is, God, I know what his name is.
Well, while you look it up, but basically, like, to see the journey, you know, of this guy creating such a popular game, Stardew Valley, like, that's a great story.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have to be a lover of, you know, you don't even have to be, like, an avid gamer to appreciate a documentary like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's just a great story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, gosh, that and, like, Axiom Verge, like, anybody who develops a game by themselves is, like, a wizard.
Oh, for real.
Like, I mean, Tom Happ, when he developed Axiom Verge and that game turned out as well produced as it was, like, I know he has game design background and stuff, and he came from that type of game design, but, like, the fact that he did all that by himself, except for some of the music was outsourced, was like, God, Axiom Verge is a gem of a game, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
So, especially if you're done playing Metroid Dread and you still have that itch, you should buy Axiom Verge. Pro tip.
I did buy Axiom Verge when it was on sale. I held off on buying Axiom Verge 2. I heard it actually didn't hold up as well, I guess.
Yeah, I've heard mixed things on 2. For sure.
Well, I'll worry about getting through the first one first.
Yeah, that's my thing. I played the first one, and I played like 5 hours of it, and I was close to the end, and then I just stopped playing it for some reason. Got sucked into something else, I guess. But, all right. Cool. Good topic. Thanks. Self 5. That's right, I did that. Somebody's got to. Well, since we don't have a guest, we don't have another topic tonight, and I think that's gonna probably wrap the show, right? Sounds like a
nice, short and sweet.
Nice hour and 27-minute episode for you people out there listening. Trying to make the show shorter. It's working. Good feedback by people, by the way. Thanks for your feedback on the shorter episode last week.
Yep.
So.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening to the Boss Rush podcast. If you want your topic read on the show, you should tweet at us or email us. Tweet at us at Boss Rush Network or join our Discord server. That would really help too. Be part of the fam, as the kids say. They still say that? I don't know. Nope.
I don't know.
Nope. Okay. I'm done. If you are listening on iTunes, please leave us a 5-star review. If you're listening on YouTube, please subscribe. Cross 300 subscribers, kids, on YouTube.
Woo!
So that's a good job.
Good job.
On a channel only full of podcasts. I'd say that's all right. Stephanie, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Klimov, KLIMOV_author.
LeRon.
You can find me everywhere. Just use this. Just use this name. Exodus 803. EXODUS 803. Social media. Twitch and YouTube. Gamertag. Don't forget Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch.tv/Exodus803. Crossroads PlayStation Podcast. Me and Austin Campbell, Nelly Lott, and Chris True. We hold it down with PlayStation news, topics, and events, and all that good stuff. And of course, here every Wednesday, unless we have a week off, which I don't know. Like I think the Slave Driver is not giving us any time off.
Whoa, that means a lot of things because I'm white and you're not. And there's about to be this whole thing. I don't want to be a part
Captain
of that.
Bly.
Concerned. Very concerned about a lot of things right now. You can find me at IamCorinHD on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me hosting Arsenal X, the Xbox podcast here on the Boss Rush Network. A lot of cool stuff coming up. Follow us on social media to find out when it's coming at Boss Rush Network. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Good night.
Merry Christmas.